action in
Like Xmithie, you take one.
So you can like take your time, don't feel rushed, like figure out the beginning if you need to. Okay?
Alright, quiet on set.
Whew.
Are you ready? And action.
So let's start off with an intro. So if you can say your name, your position, and the team.
Okay. My name is Jake Xmithie, and I'm the jungler for CLG Gaming.
Okay, so let's look back at this season. You guys came back from Worlds, you guys had some time off, and then you came to the Spring Split knowing that you were having a new roster. What were your thoughts coming into the season?
My thoughts coming to this split was I felt that we were going to go pretty well, even though that we have 2 rookies. I felt that us veterans will be able to improve the rookies as much as the previous people that they were in.
Okay, so speaking of the rookies, with Stixay and Huhi, how did you help or support them with them joining the team?
Well, before even when they were in the roster, I was already playing with Huhi because he was in the house with us. We usually go lunch together, like dinner together when we didn't have a cook yet. We got along pretty well. We even went to Korea together. I actually tried to teach him in jungle when I was not eligible for Worlds. So we were hanging out, and then after that, in the game or after scrims, like we try to help each other by either looking at replays or like try to teach them either communication-wise or anything in game.
So CLG last season, you guys are the NALCS champions. So with that title coming into this season, how did that affect, I guess, your mentality or thoughts on this upcoming season?
For me, like when we were NALCS champions last spring playoffs and we went to Worlds, I felt like it wasn't much of a pressure for me, but it feels like it's like a new era for me, like another team, it's like another team because like there's like not the same players. So I always just think about it as like just like a new play, I guess.
Okay. And in your opinion, how has the team grown or improved since last season to now?
I feel as a team we're growing pretty steady. I think that we can still improve as like much more because I felt that we're not improving as fast enough going into playoffs, but I think we can still do pretty well.
Okay, so you and Afro are known to be the main shot callers for the team. So looking at yourself as a shot caller, how do you feel like you've improved this season?
For me, being as the main shot caller doesn't really like go well for me because I feel like I try to give as much info as I can. Like I feel like I give mostly the most info in our team, and I guess that just like makes me sort of a shot caller. But I feel like I just like feed info and try to tell the right information so that I can either tell Zach where to go or like tell Zach what's the right play. So I felt like all of us as a team do also that, but I feel like I'd still do the most info.
So looking back at the season, what was the highlight for you?
Did everyone do the IMT in C9?
They mentioned the Immortals won the most, but that shouldn't affect how you answer the questions. It could be a game, it could be a moment, like a personal achievement. That might not be so obvious.
I think the highlight for me this season was, or this split.
Right there. Sorry, the water.
The water going.
Oh.
You can yell at them.
Thanks, Devin.
You're welcome.
I really want my younger dude. But I also want your baby guy.
There you go. Ready?
Yep.
Let's do it again.
Okay, what is the question?
So the highlight moment.
Oh, okay. I think the highlight for me this split is our first win in this split, and it was TSM So it was sort of like a good day for us since we just started as like this team, and then everyone was kind of expecting that TSM to win because like they're all like 5 veterans that just got into like a team, and we were just starting too. But we had like 2 new people that really just got into the LCS scene, so I thought that was a really like great lift on our shoulders since like we been practicing as hard as anyone in that time.
Do you remember what was like your thought walking off that stage with that win?
Well, usually I don't get really excited on any win or any, even in summer split, like even playoffs, like when we won in Madison Square Garden, I felt like as relieved, but I wasn't as excited as pretty much, because like I felt like, wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
I forgot the, should we just do it all over again?
Yeah, if you want to.
You can start again. What am I hearing?
Something keeps turning on.
Is someone going to the bathroom? It might be the sink. It's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone now.
What was the question? I forget.
No problem. So you were saying how you were talking about how you don't really get excited.
Oh.
So like, cause after I asked you what were your thoughts and feelings coming off that stage after the win, so that you were telling me the story.
For me, I usually don't get ecstatic on wins or anything because I would guess that's just how I am as a person. And we usually try to, like after we win, like I usually think like what next. So for me, like I just go for like, I get the celebration like later on when like eating or drinking or whatever we do. So yeah.
And looking back at the season, what do you think was the most difficult moments for you?
Well, I guess for me, I feel like we struggle as a team when there's like either this new meta comes out where we have to experiment, and I feel like it's usually at the beginning of a week where we start practicing. So it usually happens like usually every week because like there's like new champions, new skills, or like new things around the map that we have to focus on. Yeah.
And so if you were to look back at your personal performance this split, how would you evaluate it? Did you meet your own expectations for yourself?
I think my expectations for this split wasn't as high as any of my teammates because I think that everyone was striving to win, but some people were striving to like either like no losses this split or like even first place. But for me, my focus on was improving just as a team. So like just being really consistent. Like I didn't really care if we like like lose a lot early, but we just kept going improve on and on. So I think that's just what is important for me.
Now, I think the main criticism that you had this split was probably people were saying you had a limited champion pool. So what did you think about that criticism?
Well, whenever people say that, or people even talk to any LCS players, like they say that they have a limited champ pool. For me, it's like I just find it hilarious because like I usually just pick the champion that's like the most broken in that patch. So like I usually just focus on that champion. If there's another broken champion, and then I'll practice it over and over. So I feel like I just play the champions that are just what's good for us in that meta.
But even on that note, I feel like it kind of changed this season because we did see you play some picks outside of like the meta, like you brought out the Udyr, right? So like, how has that changed? Like, have you been given more room to try new junglers and new champions?
With this roster, yeah, I think that I have more freedom on like either picks or like how we play as a game, because like everyone's like more open-minded than before. So I think it's a much better way for us to experiment other stuff.
Okay, so if you were to go back and be able to change one thing about this season, what would it be?
I barely remember any games.
I
Jesus.
feel like what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Why did we play against Immortals first game? I don't remember. Tony,
Yeah.
do you remember the first game against Immortals? What did I play?
Now I don't feel bad for not remembering if he can't remember.
I can't even remember. But
First game Worlds.
Mhm.
I played Elise.
I played Elise?
Against
No.
I don't remember now. Oh, I remember now.
I was thinking about that earlier today.
Graves?
Yeah, I played Graves.
We first picked Graves and then Dylan said something dickish after the draft went through. I remember.
Wait, oh, I thought you said Worlds.
No.
Mortal.
I said Immortals.
Oh, Mortals.
All right, that doesn't even matter to me. That's not the right game.
What do you say about draft?
Perhaps if not in game, it could be like an outside of game moment. Maybe you woke up late one day, or like you didn't
Oh,
practice.
that's every day.
Oh, I heard. Apparently, there's a punishment for that, right?
The moment where I want to change if I had to go back was probably when we lost to Dignitas at the first week, since I felt that after we won against TSM, I thought that was like a good pace for us, even for especially for the rookies, that to win 2 games at the first week, like everyone's gonna be happy, everyone's gonna be like more open-minded for me, I guess, and just like everyone's just gonna be really cheery.
All right.